Well, hello everyone. You are watching Real Talk with RJ. I'm RJ. And as some of you may know, if you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I am not a supporter of Donald Trump. And I listed out in another video, you can search for it and find it and watch it, but I listed out my reasons why I do not and will not support Donald Trump and why I cannot and will not be voting for him. Last night the Indiana primary for the Republican primary results came in and Donald Trump won. And as a result, Ted Cruz, who I have been so excited about because he's for the Constitution, he's a true conservative, he's a godly man, he's conducted himself and his campaign with the utmost integrity and honesty, even amidst all the lies that the media and Donald Trump have told, that people obviously have believed about him. He's maintained his integrity. And so I was really excited about him, but he suspended his campaign last night after the results came in that Donald Trump had won, so he is no longer in the running for president, or for the Republican nomination to be president. And that really made me sad. I actually was very, very just depressed last night, because, it pretty much secures, Ted Cruz dropping out pretty much secures the GOP nomination for Donald Trump. So, come election time this year, when we have our elections, it's probably going to be Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. Two sides of the exact same coin. They're both crony capitalists, big government progressives that think that government and more control of government is the solution to everything that's wrong in the country, when actually it's the overreach and too much government involvement that has caused all the problems that we're having, and the government needs to step out of the way. And that's what Ted Cruz would have done, but for some reason the American people who support Donald Trump literally have these blinders. You present them with all this information about who Donald Trump is, what he said, all the things he's flip-flopped on, what he even said even recently, and people still, they don't care. It's just Donald Trump, I will vote for Donald Trump. They're like little robots. And it's terribly sad that people won't even engage in a conversation and listen to reason and listen to the facts and all the truth about who he really is. People, they won't even listen. And it's a strange phenomena that's going on. I don't really understand it. So I was very sad last night. I was almost thinking it might be time for me to pack my bags and move to Belize if Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are my only two choices. So I'm probably either going to be voting third party, or I'm going to write in Ted Cruz's name when I vote, because I cannot vote strategy anymore. I have to vote principle. I have to vote my conscience, and I cannot, in good conscience, cast a vote for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. I could not. And as a person of faith, I think that God would hold me accountable for the vote that I make. And if I don't vote on what I believe is true and the person who I believe has values and morals and principles and who's the best choice, I think God's going to hold me accountable for that. And I want to be able to say to him, hey, I voted for the right person and I didn't go with strategy. So I was just really bummed last night, and I'm a person that I religiously and faithfully, and shout out to you, Doc and Skip, if you're watching this, I religiously listen to you guys. Sometimes I try to do the tweet for what I learned today, but I don't know, I guess people don't think my tweets are all that funny. I find them funny, but that doesn't mean they're actually funny to other people. So they usually don't get any notoriety. So that's what I'm all about. I want to be noticed. So I kind of don't text with the hashtag what I learned today all that often. No, it's not really for that reason. It's mainly when I'm listening to you guys. I'm at work and literally like on the computer working, and we're not allowed to be on our phones except for break time or lunch when we've clocked out, which makes sense, And so that's why you don't really see very many what I learned today text from me. I try to sneak them in, but only if I think my text is like really, really funny, but even then, y'all don't think it's funny. So, anyway, this morning, because of what happened last night, this morning, I couldn't even listen to you guys. Sorry, Doc and Skip. I was just like, I'm through. And even though I religiously, every Monday through Friday, listen to Doc and Skip, and then listen to Glenn at 9, I just couldn't do it. I'm just like, I just don't want to hear any more about like the detrimental state that we're in. Like I can't take it. I'm like, I seriously was having like a meltdown. And I did put a tweet in there that, Indiana's dead to me and I'm moving to Belize, who's coming with me. And that's really how I felt this morning. I just was like, I'm through. I can't do it. I tweeted that in even though I wasn't listening to you guys. But I will be listening to you tomorrow. I promise. You have my word. Scout's honor. So I couldn't do it. And then I got to work and I started working and I just started, just kind of mulling things over in my mind, just thinking about things. Yes, Hillary or Trump, I believe, would be a really, really bad thing for our country. But our country isn't Hillary Clinton and our country isn't Donald Trump. Our country is we the people. And I really believe, I think, yes, bad and hard times are ahead of us. But I really truly believe that if we the people truly be who we have always been as Americans, helping our neighbors, reaching out to those in need and not expecting the government to bail us out or to help us, but really reaching out and meeting the needs of the people around us and picking ourselves up by our bootstraps and working hard and not thinking that any job is beneath us and willing to work and willing to do what it takes. And that is what I think. And also our Judeo-Christian values and beliefs have always guided us. Not the government, guided us. Me and you. We the people. And I really truly believe, yes, we're gonna go through it. I already can see it coming. We're gonna go through it. But I think if we the people, the vast majority of us, hold fast to our values, our principles, hold fast to each other, help each other out, work hard, abide by the laws, be a people that respect the rule of law and respect the Constitution in our own personal lives. And just anyone else that we elect into office, vet them thoroughly and make sure they're a truly principled, constitutional person. And if they're not, don't vote for them. Vote for a third party, do a write-in, do whatever. Don't vote for someone that is totally against what you stand for just because you think they're a little bit less evil than the other person. It doesn't work like that anymore. I think we need to quit doing that. So, as I was thinking about it, I began to experience some more optimism, and then also, me being a Christian, being a person of faith, believing in Christ, He is our ultimate hope. I can't put my hope and my trust in government, in Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. Please. My hope is in Christ alone. And that's a hope that's eternal, and that's a hope that has purpose, and that's a hope that keeps me moving and keeps me looking forward. And so when I started thinking about that, I began to be more optimistic and more hopeful that, yeah, it's going to get tough, but we can get through it. We can make it. And so I just wanted to kind of encourage everyone, maybe there's other people out there that are feeling like I felt last night and most of this morning, where it was just like, kill me now, like, what am I going to do? If you're still feeling like that, just be encouraged that there is always hope. There's still hope. If we truly become, these people, this guy, this guy, this guy, if we truly embrace the things that these men and other founders and important leaders in our country stood for, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll get through it, and I think we'll come out better on the other side of it. Now, there are some things, while I'm optimistic and I'm hopeful, I still 100% believe in being prepared. And so there are things that I'm going to be doing personally in my own life that I already had started on years ago, but definitely going to be kicking it up a notch, especially since it's looking like our choices are Hillary or Trump. Yeah, we definitely need to kick it up a notch in these areas, and I wanted to kind of, maybe give you some advice as to some things that you can do. The first thing is pay off your debts. If you have leftover money from your tax returns, if you've been able to put some money in savings, maybe you got that outstanding credit card or an outstanding hospital bill or whatever, something that you owe that is negatively impacting your credit or that's just hanging over your head that you still have to pay. Pay it off. Take care of it. Call up that company, call up that creditor. Hey, can I get on a payment plan? What can I do? Just get rid of the debt. Over the past several years, have pretty much eliminated all of my debt. The only debt I have left is my student loans, which are fixed at a very low rate, and I'm also deferring them right now with no interest being accrued, so I have time for that. And then my other debt that I have is I just recently bought a car, and I financed like about $10,500 for the car. But I'm actually going to be, because I work hard and I work 2 jobs, I have extra income and whatnot, I'm going to be paying that car off by December. So I will own my brand new car free and clear by December. So things like that, like if you've got a car payment, where you owe $4,000 or $5,000 or whatever, if you've got a credit card that you need to pay off, or any kind of little debt that's outstanding, that's not like, if you have the money to pay off your student loans, by all means pay them off. But if you're like me, they're kind of pricey, you can't really pay them off right now. At least get those consolidated at a fixed rate, so that way the rate never changes on you, and if you defer because you're in economic hardship or whatever, it won't accrue interest. So you're basically, saving a lot of money that way. But any other kind of debt, credit card, an outstanding bill, whatever, pay it off. Take from now to like January and pay off as much debt as you possibly can. Now, in order to do that, step number 2 kind of goes with step number 1. Look at your monthly expenses, and that includes all the bills you pay, rent, mortgage, electric, phone, all of that. Look at everything and see where you can cut stuff out. Like, is there something I can get rid of? Like, do I really need to have this subscription to this, whatever. Some people have subscription to Hulu and Netflix. Do you really need both? Do you really need all those cable channels? Can you get just basic cable and then figure out something else? You know, what can you cut out of your bills? And then, so that way you're reducing your monthly bills and your monthly expenses as much as you possibly can. And that kind of goes with you being able to put away more money into paying off your debts. So pay off debts, reduce your monthly expenses as best as you can. Third thing, save. Save, save, save. And number 3 kind of has a couple parts. Yeah, you know, savings accounts are good, or a CD or whatever, but if the poodoo hits the fan when Hillary or Trump become president and they want to do a bank bail-in and start taking your money without your permission, which both of them believe in, by the way, you might not want to have all your money in the bank. So definitely put some money aside in savings, but I would recommend putting a good portion of it just in cash. And get a safe or get some kind of lockbox or something and have some money in cash set aside. So save, save, save. Pay your debts off, reduce your monthly bills, and anything extra that you have after you've done that, save it. Put it aside, put it in a credit union savings account, or just put cash and hide it under your mattress or whatever. Just have something, because you never know. You never know. So have something. Number 4, so I've been working on 1, 2, and 3, kind of already been doing that. Number 4 is the next thing that I'm going to be working on, and that's diversifying my 401k, which the company that I work for, it's like I have stock in that in our company as part of my retirement plan. So I'm thinking about contacting them and seeing if I can diversify and put some of that money into gold and silver purchases, because that's something you can always have. When our dollar tanks, it'll be good to have that. So I'm going to be looking into diversifying the money that I have currently in my stock option with them and seeing about including gold and silver. So that's a 4th thing, gold and silver. Diversify your portfolio, as they say. Number 5, when you go to buy your groceries each week or once a month or however often you go to buy your groceries, start really paying attention to those buy one get one frees that a lot of these grocery stores do, and the extra item, set it aside. Okay? Or just go, if something's on sale really cheap, like a can of veggies or beans or spaghetti or whatever is only it's on a big sale for 20 cents a can, get 10 and put 5 or more of them into a reserve for you. Start setting aside non-perishable food items. So get those buy one get ones and start setting stuff aside, because you don't know what's going to happen and you might not have enough money to eat. And then you'll wish that you had a stash. Okay? Another thing is My Patriot Supply has really good homemade food from real organic products they make, and they seal them in these packages. They're good for 25 years. I've got, I think I have 3 or 4 months of My Patriot Supply food already that I bought. So I'm good if something should happen to me and I need help, for a few months. But I'm going to start buying some more from My Patriot Supply, and I'm also going to start stocking up on my canned goods, and I would recommend that as well. And then lastly, number 5, we just got to pray. We have got to pray. We've got to help each other. I've been thinking about, because right now I rent, I'm just going to keep it real, because it's real talk with RJ. I rent an apartment. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, about 850 square feet. I pay about $960 a month. My credit score has improved greatly because of all the stuff that I've been working on, all the debts I've been paying off, so my credit score is going whoop. So I can really potentially qualify for a home loan, and there's some really good deals around here. I can get a condo, I could buy a condo, I could buy, a small, 1,200 square foot, 2 or 3 bedroom home for $90,000. And to finance that over 25, 30 years, I'm looking at a mortgage of like $450. You see how much, And then I was thinking ahead of like my family, like what if my sister hits hard times and she's married with 3 kids? Or what about my brother? So I was thinking maybe I should try to get for as little as I can, no more than like maybe 120,000. Maybe I should look to get a home with like 4 or 5 bedrooms. Because if I got a mortgage of like $450, $500, and the rest of my family, my brother and sister, hit hard times, move in with me. Let's split the rent not split, but divide the rent 3 ways between the 3 of us. That way we can all save money and we can make it if that were to happen. So I'm kind of thinking ahead in that way. Maybe that could be number 6 in addition to praying. Number 6 is kind of think ahead and like where you live. If you can afford to live somewhere bigger, or if you want to, instead of rent like I'm doing, you want to buy like I'm thinking of doing and really reduce your cost and mortgage so that you can have something available. If family members need a place to stay, start thinking about stuff like that too, because I really believe we're going to be hitting very, very hard times. But there's always hope, because there's always hope in Christ. And if we hold fast to our values and act on our principles and work hard and save and get ourselves out of debt and help one another when we need to and not expect the government to do it for us, I really think we're going to be okay. So anyway, this has been Real Talk with RJ, and I hope this was encouraging to you, and I hope it gave you some things to work on, or at least to think about. So I will see you next time. God bless you.